Greg, if I looked into the future and told you that one of these teams made a deep playoff run, which team would it be, Steelers or Commanders?
I would have to say it would be the Washington Commanders. Like, just looking at this team, not a lot is expected of them, obviously, coming into this year. And what they've been able to do thus far, these next couple weeks are going to be huge for them. Obviously, you got the Steelers this week, and then next week I think you have the Eagles, or I want to say it's the Eagles. But for me, when I look at how they're constructed, defensively they just got to stop the run. They're actually not bad in the passing game. Offensively, they do a lot of things good. They pass the ball really well. You trust your quarterback. You can run the ball. Like, they're pretty consistent across the board. When you look at the Steelers, we know who they are defensively. There is no question who they are defensively. The question lies at the quarterback position, and offensively, can they be good enough? Can they put up enough points? Can they actually get it done in the passing game? Can Russell Wilson sustain this? We're not asking the question as it pertains to Jayden Daniels, who's a rookie. Can he keep this up? It's more likely that we're like, this is who he is. Because he doesn't know any better.
That's right.
And so he's going to go up. This will be a huge test for him, I believe, this week. And it will be a huge test, in my opinion, for Russell Wilson in that offense, too. Because when you look at what they now have acquired in Marshawn Lattimore, you got a shutdown corner that you believe that can match up against any other receiver in this league. And so when Russell Wilson tries to go down the field and they want to make sure that they air things out, it's going to be a little different for him. I just trust the Washington Commanders right now. Wow. And looking in that division, it's not as tough. Right. Where the Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, you haven't played a single division game yet. And it's going to get very daunting here in a moment for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, I agree with a lot of what you said. This is a tough question for me. And after the game, I think we'll find out, like, which of these teams is better. And you might have a clearer answer after the game. Pittsburgh has – I like Dan Quinn as a coach, but Pittsburgh has the advantage there with Mike Tomlin. Like you said, defensively, which is huge, they're much better, one of the best in the league. And even though Russ, yes, because of the last 2 years, we're kind of wondering, is he going to keep this up? He is the veteran. He is the experienced one. He's won the Super Bowl. So a couple more weeks and people will be believers if he keeps this up.
Yep.
But the thing is, they got to go through the AFC. Kansas City, Baltimore mainly, but then even Houston and Buffalo and Cincinnati, you know, like they have a tougher road to hoe. So even though it's hard, look, no rookies ever made, I'm kind of thinking of it, who could get to the Super Bowl. No rookies ever started in the Super Bowl, ever gotten a team to, no rookie quarterback, ever to the Super
Ben
Bowl.
Got close.
So I would look at it and say, everything's pointing more Pittsburgh than Washington, but gun to my head, I'll just say Washington because it's outside of Detroit, nobody's like unbeatable in the NFC.
Okay, let's talk about this because who's so unbeatable? I know the Kansas City Chiefs are literally unbeatable and undefeated, but like the Bills can be beaten. The Ravens can obviously be beaten. The Bengals, the Texans. So this whole idea that the AFC is this juggernaut and the NFC isn't. I'm so tired of that idea. I really, really am. So, to answer this question directly is, to play the fence. They're both likely to make a legitimate playoff run. There's pros and cons to each team, right? Yes, absolutely. Russell Wilson is a seasoned veteran and has been there, has literally gone to multiple Super Bowls. Mike Tomlin, head coach, Super Bowl winner as well. And that is some of the aspects that are technically lacking for the Kansas City Chiefs. But that doesn't always mean what it means. Patrick Mahomes needed to win a Super Bowl by getting to a Super Bowl first, right? Like, you can't just magically win a Super Bowl without ever even getting there. Now, granted, Andy Reid had gone to a Super Bowl and had gone to multiple NFC championship games, but not Travis Kelce, right? Not Tyreek Hill. We can go down the list of all those other players as well. Patrick Mahomes, obviously. So to automatically count out the Washington Commanders based on some of their youth or lack of concrete playoff high level experience, that falls on deaf ears, quite frankly, because then we have plenty of other teams that have that experience and they can't get there, right? How many times has Russell Wilson gone to the Super Bowl since those 2 years with Seattle? Never. So, the experience can only take you so far, right? Like, you need the talent. And a lot of times you need the youth. And that is definitely what Jaden Daniels brings. And here's the thing. People always talk about this, and I disagree with this statement, but people always act, especially with these young rookie quarterbacks who are really exciting and dynamic. They'll talk about a quarterback like Jaden Daniels and just wait until next offseason, or, like this coming offseason, come time, February, March, or whatever. Everyone's going to be like, can Jaden Daniels maintain this? Now that they have film on him, I'm expecting a sophomore slump and, all this type of nonsense. They're going to just go on and on and on about it, and I just can't wait to have those discussions 10,000 times. And it's going to be so largely nonsense. But let's just say it's true. Well, then it's a major advantage because that they don't know how to stop Jaden Daniels then. Going on a playoff run, right? Going in a deep run, teams don't know how to stop Jaden Daniels because they don't have the amount of film. But you look at a team like Pittsburgh Steelers, we got years and years and years and years and years of film on, say, a Russell Wilson, how to stop him. Teams are intimately in touch with how to hold Russell Wilson back, right? How to minimize his success and whatnot, right? How to expose a Mike Tomlin defense. They don't have that same level of film on, say, Dan Quinn maybe to a degree, but not to the lengths of Mike Tomlin, and certainly not Jaden Daniels. So I think this like kind of automatic one way or the other based off of just experiences, I think a little short-sighted, quite frankly. To be clear, I think the moves that both of these teams have made put them in a great position to make a run. I really, really do. So much of it is dependent upon, though, is for the Steelers at least, can Russell Wilson stay healthy, right? Can he stay healthy? Because he was obviously lingering and he was legitimately hurt. That's why he didn't start and he missed games. Like, he was legitimately not ready. So it wasn't just one of those things like, I tweaked my foot, but I'll be good. Like, it was a legitimate injury, a legitimate concern. So we have no idea when, if or when that could kind of reemerge. Jaden Daniels, I know his ribs and what that, but it's obviously different. And it feels as though the energy and the catch you by surprise type approach for the Washington Commanders gives them that major benefit of the doubt, because I really don't think teams know what to expect from the Washington Commanders, what to expect from Jaden Daniels, what to expect from Cliff Kingsbury, what to expect from Dan Quinn, right? I think they have that great unknown, the element of surprise that I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers necessarily have. And again, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers' identity is very clear of who they are, and it is very much so who the Seattle Seahawks were when Russ did go to the Super Bowl. So it's more so like, this is who we are. We're not hiding it. Just go and try to beat us. Where the Washington Commanders are like, you don't know what to expect from Jaden, Cliff, Dan, etc. You don't really know. So they have that deep element of surprise that will be really interesting to see how this season unfolds. But the Washington Commanders they had some important games too. They got to go. Let's not act like the Philadelphia Eagles are a bunch of slouches. They're lucky that Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys are obviously a mess, and they already took care of the Giants. So, it'll be an easier path to beat the Cowboys. I mean, I think they were going to beat the Cowboys even with Dak, but with Dak, the chances of the Cowboys splitting with the Commanders definitely goes higher. And same thing with the Eagles. I think, as long as AJ and Devontae and their cast of characters are all healthy, the chances of them splitting is also pretty high. You typically see that among good teams within the division. It's just pretty common, no matter how great of a team you are. It just is what it is. So again, it's not like the Commanders have some easy path forward, or like facing the Lions would be in the playoffs would be cakewalk. right, or facing the Eagles would be cakewalk. So they both have tough competitors to face in their respective conferences. So, but it's going to be a really awesome game to see both of them go head to head, and it's pretty cool to see the Commanders favored in this game, right? That's pretty impressive. The Steelers are this season veteran team, Super Bowl winning quarterback Russell Wilson, Mike Tomlin, right, considered to be a top coach in the NFL. They got their defense, they got their weapons, they have their health, and yet the Commanders are still favored to win. I find that fascinating, and if you're a Washington Commanders fan, that you should definitely find that exciting. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders or Pittsburgh Steelers? Who do you think is more likely to make a run? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.